such as a fireball, a luminous object stream of light. The events known as the Rendlesham Forest Incident unfolded in December 1980, involving reported sightings of mysterious lights near Rendlesham Forest in Suffolk, England. This phenomenon became associated with alleged UFO landings. The occurrences transpired in close proximity to RAF Woodbridge, then utilized by the United States Air Force. Personnel from the USAF, including Lieutenant Colonel Charles I. Halt, the deputy base commander, reported witnessing objects they characterized as UFOs. This incident stands out as the most renowned UFO event to occur in the United Kingdom, and it holds a place among the globally recognized reported UFO occurrences. Often referred to as Britain's Roswell, it has drawn comparisons to the Roswell UFO incident in the United States. Welcome to the place where you'll find your perfect accommodation. If you're the owner of a hotel, motel, or a similar establishment, don't hesitate to reach out for a potential collaboration. Notably, the UK Ministry of Defence clarified that the event did not present any threat to national security and, consequently, was not subject to a security investigation. Skeptics propose that the sightings can be attributed to a misunderstanding of various nocturnal lights, such as a fireball, the Orfordness Lighthouse, and bright stars. Around 3 a.m. on December 26, 1980, a security patrol near the east gate of RAF Woodbridge observed lights seemingly descending into the nearby Rendlesham Forest. Astronomers have linked these lights to natural debris, suggesting it was a meteor seen burning up over southern England during that period. Initially, the servicemen believed it might be a downed aircraft. Halt's memo recounts that upon entering the forest for investigation, they encountered a luminous object with a metallic appearance and colored lights. As they approached, the object seemed to navigate through the trees, causing a commotion among the animals on a nearby farm. Sergeant Jim Peniston later asserted that he encountered a craft of unknown origin in the forest, although this claim wasn't publicly disclosed at the time. And there is no collaborative testimony from other witnesses. Shortly past 4 a.m., local law enforcement responded to the site. However, they reported that the only visible lights were emanating from the Orfordness Lighthouse, located several miles away on the coast. As daylight broke on the morning of December 26, servicemen revisited a small clearing near the eastern forest edge. There, they discovered 3 small impressions on the ground arranged in a triangular pattern, along with burn marks and broken branches on adjacent trees. At 10:30, the local police were summoned again to inspect the impressions, initially considering them possibly animal-made. A photograph of the alleged landing site, taken the morning after the initial sighting, was published by Georgina Bruni in her book, You Can't Tell the People. The deputy base commander, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt, along with several servicemen, visited the site during the early hours of December 28, 1980. Using an PDR-27, a standard U.S. military radiation survey meter, they conducted radiation readings in the triangle of depressions and the surrounding area. Despite registering 0.07 milliroentgens per hour in the specified zone, they observed readings of 0.03 to 0.04 milliroentgens per hour in other areas, consistent with background levels. Additionally, a similar small burst was detected over half a mile away from the landing site. Halt documented these events using a microcassette recorder. During this inquiry, an intermittent flashing light was observed across the field to the east, aligning closely with a farmhouse, mirroring the witness's initial sighting. The Orfordness Lighthouse, situated further east along the same line of sight, was also visible. Subsequently, as detailed in Halt's memorandum, 3 star-like lights appeared in the sky, 2 to the north and 1 to the south, positioned approximately 10 degrees above the horizon. Halt described the brightest light as hovering for 2 to 3 hours, intermittently emitting a stream of light. Astronomers have interpreted these star-like lights as bright stars. A suggested explanation revolves around the possibility that the entire incident was a fabrication. According to a report by the BBC, Kevin Conde, a former U.S. security policeman, asserted responsibility for generating unusual lights in the forest. Conde claimed to achieve this by driving a modified police vehicle. Nevertheless, there is a lack of evidence confirming that such a prank occurred on the specific nights in question. Alternative theories proposed for the incident encompass the idea of a downed Soviet spy satellite, although no substantiating evidence has been presented to validate this hypothesis. The prevailing interpretation attributes the sightings to a convergence of three primary factors. The first observation at 3 a.m. on December 26, during which the airman witnessed an object descending into the forest, aligned with the presence of a luminous fireball over southern England. Fireballs of this nature frequently contribute to UFO reports. The purported landing indicators, later identified as rabbit diggings by police and foresters, lacked supporting evidence indicating that any object had truly descended in the forest. According to the accounts provided by witnesses on December 26, the illuminating light observed from the forest coincided with the direction of the Orfordness lighthouse. However, as the eyewitnesses approached the light, they realized its distance was greater than initially perceived. One witness, Ed Cabansag, characterized it as a distant beacon light, while another, John Burroughs, referred to it as a lighthouse. Timings documented on Halt's tape recording during his sighting on December 28 indicate that the light he observed, aligning with the light seen 2 nights earlier, exhibited a flashing pattern every 5 seconds, matching the flash rate of the Orfordness lighthouse. Some skeptics propose that the star-like entities mentioned by Halt, appearing low to the north and south, might have been misconstrued bright stars influenced by atmospheric and optical phenomena, an occurrence frequently contributing to UFO accounts. The most luminous of these objects, situated to the south, corresponded with the position of Sirius, the brightest star visible in the night sky. In a Skeptoid podcast episode titled The Rendlesham Forest UFO, released on January 6, 2009, scientific skeptic and author Brian Dunning scrutinized the initial eyewitness statements, audio recordings, and subsequent media coverage of the incident. In 2005, funds from the lottery were utilized by the Forestry Commission to establish a pathway in Rendlesham Forest, responding to heightened public curiosity, and dubbed it the UFO Trail. In 2014, an artist was commissioned by the Forestry Service to craft an installation situated at the trail's conclusion. The artist asserts that the piece is fashioned after sketches purportedly depicting various renditions of the UFO reportedly witnessed in Rendlesham. In December 2018, British UFO researcher David Clarke shared an assertion suggesting that the incident was orchestrated by the SAS as a retaliatory scheme against the USAF. According to this narrative, in August 1980, the SAS conducted a parachute operation into RAF Woodbridge to assess the security of the nuclear site. The USAF, having recently upgraded their radar, detected the black parachutes of the SAS operatives during their descent. Subsequently, the SAS members were subjected to interrogation and physical mistreatment, culminating in the derogatory label of unidentified aliens. In seeking retribution, the SAS allegedly staged their version of an alien encounter for the USAF. As December approached, the woods were adorned with lights, colored flares, and black helium balloons tethered to remote-controlled kites, releasing suspended materials into the sky through radio controls. Nevertheless, Clarke's investigative findings concluded that the entire story itself was a fabrication.